If you're on a self-care journey and wanting to be the best version of yourself, then you know how important gratitude is. For the longest time, I thought gratitude was just to say affirmations that I have everything I need, I don't need anything else. Yet, I didn't realize saying that affirmation and not having that same emotion didn't really work. You see someone else having something you want, and you tell yourself, I don't need anything, and not fully being intentional with what you say doesn't really work. As we're growing, it's hard not to kind of want what others have that we want. You know, when you're active on social media, as most of us are, we see the cars, we see the houses, we see the lifestyle that we want, and that's why I'm trying to stay away from social media and just try to create my own path, because it has affected me in a way where I'm like craving more, desiring more materials, more free time, and just trying to point a finger at somebody as to why I'm not where I want to be. If you're new, welcome to another beautiful episode of Unraveling Her with me, your host, Nikki Alaris. I would say gratitude is something I'm still working on and trying to unravel, really. I didn't realize that gratitude was acknowledging what you have and making it enough. In other words, gratitude is acknowledging what you have is enough. Too often, we say things and we don't really have that much intention into what we say, and we're like, oh, this is self-care, I'm telling myself good affirmations, right? I should be feeling good. But if you don't combine intentional energy with what you're saying, it really doesn't work. And that's just one part of growing as a person, but also literally just recognizing what you have around you, taking inventory of what you have. And lately I've been doing that because, 'tis the season, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and I took inventory of the things that really mattered. And, if shit hits the fan, what are the things I would take with me? Very little, very little. Just think about, say, your house is on a fire, right? It's burning down. You only have a few seconds left to take what really matters. What are those things, or who are they? And when it really came down to that, it's the people I love. They're irreplaceable. Every single material I have is replaceable. Your family, the people you love, is not. And so when I think about where I want to be, the lifestyle I want, it really doesn't matter unless I know my family is safe, they're happy, then that is enough for me. And also, when I say taking inventory of what you have in your life, this means literally looking around where you're living and what you have. For one, I have a car. It's a 2011 Jeep Compass. Old car, doesn't run the best, but I'm grateful it gets me from and to work and to places I need to. I'm so grateful for my car. I mean, the first time I got my car, I was driving out and about, just exploring, and it took me to so many places that made me experience new things. And so that's what I love about my car. It takes me to places I love, like to get bubble tea, to get noodles, to go camping, to go to galleries. It takes me to new experiences. That's why I love my car. Two, I'm grateful for food. I would not be here if I am not nourishing myself. And mangoes, I have a mango sitting in my corner right now. I'm grateful for mangoes. I'm grateful for my bed. For the longest time, if you've been keeping up with my journey, I was sleeping on a twin mattress for 3 years, and it's not the most comfortable. It's a big transition, and it's just the little things. It's the little things that matter. And also just having my equipment with me, makes a difference. I'm very grateful. I'm very fortunate to have this. I feel privileged to have these tools and be able to create these videos. I wouldn't be able to if I didn't have the right tools. And so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful to see my family and my sister be happy and do what they love. And so it really comes down to that. And I'm also grateful for having a job. For the longest time when I was younger, I was like, "Ugh, I can't wait to get out of this house and move out and have a job and make my own money." I'm here. Everything I've wished and manifested for, I have. Even the exhaustion. I'm grateful for how tired I am doing the thing that I love, even when it's recording and I'm super tired, or if I'm going into work and I'm not fully 100% and I'm tired. In the moment, it feels exhausting, but I have to zoom out and remind myself, this is everything I've manifested. This is everything I wished for. And so I let that sink in. I have to remind myself to not take things too seriously and zoom out and recognize how far I've came, because like I said, gratitude is recognizing what you have is enough. Where I'm at in life is enough. The things that I have is enough. And as much as social media makes us want to have what we don't have, it's really toxic. It's just like people who have straight hair want curly hair. I've always wanted curly hair in my life, all my life. And it's the opposite too with curly haired people. They want straight hair because of the frizz and the maintenance. And so as you get older, you'll start to realize that it doesn't change. People, we're humans, we want things we can't have. And so I feel like it's very important to remind ourselves and to remind others of what we have and recognizing that that's enough. I feel like we live in such an age of consumption, whether it's food or materials or media, we're always over consuming more than what we need. And it's in times where you take a big loss, whether it's at a job, whether it's within your family, someone you love, someone you care about, friends, whether it's something within yourself that you lost. It's within those times you really reevaluate your life, because it feels like something was taken away from you. You're kind of left with a hole, and it's in moments where you hit rock bottom, where you start to analyze what's really important. You kind of start to disconnect, and you try to find your way again. You try to learn how to breathe again. You try to learn how to walk again. And I remember when I lost somebody I really cared about. It was a couple times, when I've lost either a pet or someone that I admired. It was hard, because when you feel that sadness, when you go through the stages of grief, you don't want anything other than that person back, and like the memories and the way they make you feel, really, too. And so when you lose something, you become more aware of what you have and recognizing that what you have is enough. You don't crave anything more. When you start to reevaluate the things that really matter, you live with more intentionality. And too often, I'm guilty of this too, I'm always trying to improve myself, and I'm like, in order to improve myself and be the best version of myself, I need these tools, I need to have this set up, I need to have more free time. I need to do this. I need to do that. And I'm like, I just need to disconnect. I just need to disconnect from everything sometimes, you know? And so, as much as we want to take care of ourselves, be the best version of ourselves, and by doing so, I'm always doing research, I'm always listening to podcasts, YouTube videos, I'm reading, and I'm always, in other words, consuming. I'm consuming knowledge where I also need to have this balance that I'm also trying to cultivate, where I need to just live. I just need to simply exist. And instead of trying to overconsume this wisdom that I crave and this knowledge that I crave, I think it's really important to be more present, not just within your day, but tuning in to your body, slowing down. And you're gonna get so annoyed and sick of me because I will repeat myself probably in every single episode to truly slow down. Because if you want to be more intentional and you want to be more grateful and be more aware, you honestly have to slow down. Slow your thoughts down, sit with yourself, try to meditate, because even if it's for 1 minute, that's enough. Because you can recognize how hard it is to sit with yourself and to sit with your thoughts. And that's a first step. That's a first step. And slowing down as you drive, that is something I'm working on, because often I get so anxious of being late to where I need to be, whether it's work, to an event. I'm always a little bit anxious, and so I have to remind myself to slow down, take it easy, take a deep breath. And same goes when I'm creating, whether it's with social media or my passion projects. I need to remind myself to slow down because I need to zoom out, reflect, and take a break, get back into it. And when I started to realize these things started to fall in line. Now, we're human, and change isn't linear. Just because you started a really good habit for the first week, don't be surprised if you fall off. You know, give yourself grace. You're human, you make mistakes. Allow yourself to take a break and pick up that habit again, that good habit. And allow yourself to experiment and recognize your patterns. Recognizing and being aware of your habits and your thoughts is really, really important. Now, when I was younger, I thought that, oh, I can't wait till I have a really nice car, or I can't wait to travel for work, and I can't wait to wear the best clothes and go shopping all the time and have a collection of shoes and bags. And as I got older, you realize, oh, that takes money. And oh, that takes time to travel the world. You can't do it all in 1 year. And so you are really hit with reality. And I was grateful enough to go through so many painful experiences that shaped who I am. And I'm so grateful for these growing pains. As hard as it is to hear this, whatever you're going through, just know it's temporary. And that gives me so much reassurance, because knowing that where we're at, whether you're at a really low point in your life or a really high point in your life, everything you're going through is temporary. Nothing lasts. Just like the seasons, it reminds us that we're always going in an endless cycle of change, always unraveling parts of ourselves, peeling layers of ourselves, shedding layers. And in doing so, we're building so much of who we are through these changes, through these experiences. And I'm a very career-driven person, because I feel like in order to be where I'm at, I need to have a good career. but also tapping into my spirituality and integrating that too is something I'm working on. And I feel like I've been disconnected from lately, because I've been so focused on elevating my career and where I want to be that I forget to center myself and reconnect with my roots. And that's truly something I need to hear out loud. Apart from that, I've been very grateful and very fortunate to have experienced everything I've been through. All the jobs I've had that shaped me to who I currently am. And it's these experiences, even the painful ones where I'm clocking into work or I'm crying before I'm clocking into work or I'm leaving work and I had such a stressful day and I just had to go for a run because it's so mentally draining. It's in those moments where you feel super exhausted, super stressed, that you reflect back on and you're like, damn, I really went through that. I'm glad I went through that because now I can recognize what I need to do after I have these moments of stress, these moments of exhaustion. You know how to handle it more. The more you go through, the more chances you have to respond to it differently. Because in the beginning, as you're going through these growing pains, it feels like a life or death situation. And then as you keep going through more growing pains, you're like, okay, I've felt this before. Let's do something different. Let's respond differently. Let me take a nap. Let me drink some water. Let me not rush into creating a decision right away because I have been very guilty of that. In stressful situations, I'm just quick to find a solution right away. I'm just acting on it right away. And my boyfriend really he unintentionally teaches me to evaluate what's going on and then make a decision. Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm a woman, we're fixers, and we want to fix things right away. And we always have something to, we always have something up our sleeves because as nurturers, it's in our DNA to do something when something needs to be fixed, right? And so we have a solution for the most part. And what comes to my mind is Reese Witherspoon because she's an actress. She hates it and despises it when directors tell these women in movies, or she sees a script and it says, oh, I don't know what to do, and looks to a man. Realistically, how many women do that? How many women look for a man and say, what should I do? What do we do? Be so for real. We find a way. And so, without straying too far from the topic and recentering back, gratitude is recognizing what you have and saying that's enough. Gratitude is taking what you have and saying it's enough. I think that's what I'm trying to say. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for your patience and your support. I am truly grateful, and I hope you enjoy this time around surrounded by the people you love with some good meals. I know that the history with Thanksgiving is not as heartwarming, but I'm from the Philippines. I didn't even know what Thanksgiving was until I got here, and all I knew about Thanksgiving in the beginning was turkey and gravy. And so I'm like, okay, we have Thanksgiving, let's go eat. And then I started learning, deep diving into it, and I'm like, oh. But anyways, we don't really celebrate Thanksgiving like that. We just get together as a family and eat. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for your love and support. And if you get anything out of this, it's to take inventory of what you have and recognize what you have and making it enough for yourself. Think about what you would take with you if your house was burning down. That really puts things into perspective. Thank you. I love you, and I'll see you in another episode real soon. Mwah. Salamat.